It's the only thing that we even need to prove that veganism is a cult, that it's a religious belief. There's no such thing as going vegan and thinking that I'll just quit. If I was to rank the comments in their popularity, the most popular comment would be, "You were never vegan." Because if you quit veganism, you were never vegan. Vegans never quit. You were plant-based. And there are so many videos of current vegans, when they do commentary of people quitting veganism, they always say that you were never vegan. It's impossible to quit if you're vegan. And today we're going to discuss why it's logically false and what it means, what this statement, when you hear this statement, what it means, what it tells us about veganism. If we go on, so they're pretty like surface level analogies, right? If you divorce, you were never married. If you split up with your boyfriend, you never loved your boyfriend. If you, I don't know, quit smoking, you never smoked. If you graduated from school, you never were in school. So these are the analogies, but vegans will strongly disagree with that. And why vegans will disagree with that? The reason is that they believe that vegan awareness, understanding of veganism is literally the peak of human awareness. There is nothing beyond that. Understanding that this is the peak prohibits you, veganism prohibits you to research anything beyond veganism, because the moment you made vegan connection that you shall not kill animals, you cannot participate in killing animals again. But again, as always, I always say that veganism is not an ethical stance, it's aesthetical belief, because they just hide. They refuse to see the fact that they're still abusing animals. The mere birth of a human abuses animals. The mere existence of human abuses animals. And plus also with all the food industry and so on and so forth, we're all stealing habitat from animals. Just human existence is not vegan by nature. It is aesthetical belief because you're not having animals on your plate. You're not having animals, dead animals in your apartment and your place of habitat. It's not an ethical thing. It's an aesthetical preference. You avoid being exposed to it. That's it. You have this aesthetical belief. And as with any cult, with any religion, they all say that the moment you accept the truth about our cult, about our religion, the moment you accept that this is the prophet, this is the carrier of the ultimate truth, this is the dogma that you should obey, the moment you accept that, you cannot seek anything else. It is if we say that, okay, in the Bible it says that the rainbow in the sky is sent to remind that God will not perform genocide again. Or flat earth believers will say that the rainbow is a deflection of light, a dispersion of light of the dome that sits above our earth. And if we conduct certain experiments, we can replicate the rainbow and we can explain how it originates, why we see it at certain angles, why it happens, because of spherical droplets suspended in the atmosphere. But if you believe in the book, if you believe in flat earth dogma, you're not going to regard the inside, the physical origin of rainbow as something legitimate. You're not even going to think in that direction. You will be fulfilled with the knowledge that your religion, cult, or whatever philosophical belief system offers. And your philosophical belief system will always, or religious belief, will always have something that will make you fearful of stepping outside of it. As a vegan, for example, you will be told that it is unambiguously very bad to consume animals for both environment, animals, not both, for environment, animals, and your health. So you will be terrified to even consider that it's a possibility, which will prevent you, will put you in the belief box. The moment you are in the box of a belief, you're no longer a scientist, you're no longer a researcher, you no longer can exercise unleashed free curiosity and allow yourself any mental experiment or read anything beyond. And moreover, if you even get involuntarily exposed to certain information, you will be pulled back into your belief system because your mind regards this belief system as the guarantee of some safety. And if you have more like anxious personality, you will be more likely to get yourself surrendered to that box, to be hidden in that box, because this is where your security is found. This alone, the fact that vegans say that if you quit veganism, you were never vegan, it's the only thing that we even need to prove that veganism is a cult, that it's a religious belief, because they reject the possibility of you learning something beyond veganism that will change your picture of the world, the fundamental picture of the world. You can actually watch the playlist with vegan interviews, because I interviewed people who were not just vegans for health. They were ideological vegans. They were activists. They were in the streets interacting with people. They were very vocal about their beliefs. They didn't care about their diet, because we know that veganism is not about food. Veganism is about ethics, which is again aesthetical belief for the most part. And those people, they quit veganism. They stepped outside of it, even though they were faithful vegans in the beginning. Their belief system evolved under the changing environmental conditions, under exposure to other information. This does not mean that people who quit veganism, they stop loving, liking, respecting animals any less. You just learn something that kind of balances this love, that gives you a more holistic picture of what's happening. You get exposed to certain conditions that you did not expect to be exposed to when you only started, when you were a faithful vegan who thought that you will never quit. And people's psyche is unpredictable, because imagine a person never was starving, right? So a person was born to a normal, wealthy family. They never were hungry. They never were starving. They were fed good food. And this is what happens in the most of the developed world. There is still not such an overwhelming amount of hunger and starvation as in some impoverished countries where the birth rate is high, but food is not supplied properly. So a lot of people who adopt veganism, they never knew starvation. They don't know how their psyche will react to starvation that is induced by veganism. And veganism is, please watch my playlist, Vegan Deficiencies, is a starvation path. You don't know what will happen to your brain, how you will reevaluate the world, how you will reevaluate your beliefs. Because in certain critical situations, your brain will start thinking more practically. In the pyramid of needs, you will be rapidly placed to the level of trying to fulfill your essential needs before any concept starts populating your mind again. So this is another factor. When you're screaming that you will never quit veganism in the beginning, be aware that you never were in this position. You never were in the position when your brain was starving. You were never in the position when your body was screaming for essential nutrients. And this will be a surprise to you. And you don't know how you will react. The same way when I was on the beach with my dog in another country, and suddenly a huge dog came, huge stray dog, came and attacked my dog. I didn't know what I was doing exactly. My brain blanked. But I remember that I was barehanded. I was beating the big dog for him to release my dog. That's what happened to my brain. Would I react like that hypothetically? Would you imagine that I would react like that to this accident when I'm in a normal analytical state of mind? I have no idea. I had no idea that I would react like that. I could not have planned that my brain would come up with this solution. And any stressful, any survival situation, which again need to seek food, is a survival circumstance. In a way, it's probably less acute than reacting to immediate threat, but it's still an underlying, growing, accruing sense of threat that your brain will start seeking solution for. You were never prepared for that. So when you're saying that you were never vegan, I mean, you never starved. You never starved. It's something that you can't even predict. But then, the whole nature of this thing is to put you in the box of the belief and prohibit you to think anything beyond that. When you quit veganism, you still understand everything that veganism is about. You don't forget. You don't forget all the years of schooling that you had. But you learn something else. You learn certain other areas where this knowledge can be applied, how it can be developed, because once we learned the normal algebra, but then suddenly in the 7th grade or 8th grade, we got introduced to imaginary numbers in the math class. What is imaginary numbers? We didn't know how to apply them. There was nothing in our environment that would make them usable for us. We thought that all of this normal algebra would be sufficient to survive in the world, but then suddenly we see that to conduct certain science, we need imaginary numbers. Does existence of imaginary numbers undermine the existence of algebra? No. It doesn't. It just opens up new areas of applicability. It just suits certain other contexts of our life that we were not previously exposed to. Same with veganism. You just change your understanding of something that makes veganism irrelevant in its form. The core beliefs may remain, but you expand on them. You start learning, how can I coexist with this knowledge? And you start seeking certain compromise, because not everyone is willing to die for chicken. Not everyone is willing to sacrifice their life and well-being, because people have other responsibilities in life. The goal of human life, human existence, in my opinion, at least in my picture of the world, is to fulfill the creator, to achieve the creator state, realize your creative potential, to deliver certain developmental things that were imparted to you genetically and through upbringing. You need to realize your potential. And plus, also throughout life, we start being responsible for other people. We build businesses. Start being responsible for our customers, for our employees, for our product. We start being responsible for our spouses, for our children. Then when our parents become older, we're responsible for their well-being too. So we have growing scope of responsibility throughout life. We cannot just ditch it in the name of our previously relevant idea when we see that the environment just does not work with us following some system of belief. And if you do surrender everything that makes our life, regardless of your, again, belief system and what life is about, if you surrender everything to fulfill your belief, to sit in that box of belief, while being presented with opportunities to develop, while being presented with opportunities to seek some further knowledge and understanding, then it's a cult. You're in the cult. You're a member of a cult. You are in the religion, and you will be forever oppressed. That's it. Your will is oppressed. Your natural will to live well and to thrive and to do something is oppressed. Then this is to therapist. If you want to fix that, if you're capable of questioning that, why you think this way. So these two things, the fact that it's 100% cult mentality, and the second thing is that if you are a new vegan or the moderately mature vegan who is still not in the end stage, you just don't know what you're about to face later in life and how your psyche will respond. And then another thing, I conducted an ex-vegan study. Please subscribe to my channel to not miss out on the documentary that I'm working on. I created a survey, a very in-depth survey, where I surveyed a bunch of ex-vegans, and I can tell you one thing. Every single ex-vegan thought that they would be a vegan forever. Every single one. And only a few people thought that they would be able to quit veganism when they were in the end stage veganism, when they were already suffering some health consequences from veganism. Literally, every single vegan thought that they would be vegan forever. There's no such thing as going vegan and thinking that I'll just quit. It's not like that. It's always something very harsh. It's always some deep reevaluation of your values, understanding of the world that happens that leads people to quitting veganism. It's never an easy decision. There's always something very strong that people are forced to understand. But usually people wait till it's almost too late. Fortunately for vegan system, there are so many resources that encourage people to be overdue on quitting, that encourage people to wait to try different salvation band-aids and stuff like that do not change situation profoundly, that just steal precious time from people and reduce their probability of full recovery from veganism. It's a very dangerous cult. So if you are vegan and if you are capable of receiving this message for what it is, consider quitting. Consider evaluating. Sit and think what it is for you. And if you are not, then, time will show you. You will be very surprised with yourself. You'll be very surprised.